think when we were awarded this job, we were immediately struck by several things. One, the source of inspiration, Christa McAuliffe, of course, is very well-known astronaut who unfortunately lost her life during the Challenger explosion, but she was such an uplifting personality and her story was remarkable. So the idea of flight immediately emerged as one of the key ideas. So the shape of the library in some abstract way does resemble like a wing. And it's one space, and the ceiling starts to soar. So it starts low and then it rises as the library opens up. And in fact, when it reaches its apex, the library roof continues to the outside and it creates this frame, which in some ways what we inspired by is like a view towards the skies or towards the heavens. So the idea is that the whole thing is to lift up, and the shape of it and even the materials that we selected for the library also is really key. So the library is mostly very contemporary. It's largely white and silver. And the interiors are also along those themes because it's tied to the whole idea of forward thinking, flight, space, even the idea of, rockets.
Yeah, and a few of the other interiors, so it's totally an integrated library in terms of the design. So the interior is also based on this out in space, right? So the lights, we've designed these lights, round lights to resemble planets possibly at different heights. And in the children's area, we have the solar system.
Yeah.
It's designed into the carpet. So there's a lot of solar flight design involvement in the whole project.
What we wanted was a building. We knew it was going to be the Christa McAuliffe Branch Library. And we were really passionate about getting a building that reflects the ethos, the passion of Christa. We got one model to look at, and it was the Branch Library. And we said, no, Christa McAuliffe. And Tony then went out and read a couple of books about her, and he came back with something like this. So it really, and then when people came in after it was open, they said, I met a guy up in the street, and he says, started to cry. He said, I can't imagine, never imagined we'd have a building like this in our neighborhood.
I think for sure the idea from the get-go, which the whole committee brought into, was trying to be inspired by her. And I think one of her most famous quotes is like reaching for the stars. And the idea of reaching for the stars was the impetus to say we should be inspired.
Christa McAuliffe was an educator, and a library, of course, is a place for learning. It's a repository of information, a repository of equipment that gives you access to information, and it's a place of learning. It has been such a gift to the community, especially people on the north side, ever since it opened. It was immediately popular. And even today, you can see that there are people all over the building doing many things. My grandson comes after school. He's a high school student and he studies here. And we also wanted it to look as if it imparted a sense of striving, of upward motion, which is kind of unusual for a library now that I think about it. But we got that. And when you drive by at night and you see the blue lights on the building, it's just stunning. It really just uplifts this whole part of town.